Welcome to the Frequency Labyrinth. I am Adrienne McDonald, your host. This podcast is for you if you're done with surface level self-help and ready for something deeper and actually transformative. Around here, we work with ancient wisdom, human design, gene keys, and shamanic practices, not as knowledge to collect, but as tools to live by. This isn't about one size fits all. It's about learning to work with your energy, your design, and your life. This is about integration and embodiment. We go deep here with ancient wisdom, practical integration, so that you can develop ironclad self-trust. Let's get into it. Hello, beautiful humans, and welcome back, or welcome if it's your first time. Grab a cozy beverage and let's get into it. Today I want to talk about the core wound, but with a little bit of a twist. Now, I know I've talked about this subject on the podcast before, but today we're weaving different things together. This came out of when I looked at the Sun transit gate for this week, which is 8, I was like, all right, I think this is time, a really good time to bring in some of this synthesis that came up when I was working on and still working on the Frequency Labyrinth. And Gate 8 is the gate of contribution. And if you want to make your mark through contribution, you really have to confront your core wound. And right now in this transit, and again, this is a gate of contribution and self-expression. But when we look at this, the real impact isn't born from bypassing your shadows. You can fake it, but it doesn't work because you really can't fake it. You can't force it. Gate 8 demands that you stand in your unique essence. And that means facing down the places where you've been wounded. Because your voice, when it's forged in fire, is incredibly powerful. So we're going to weave together those things. I'm going to give you some things to think about and a couple of reflective questions, I think, at the end, maybe. All right, so the first thing that we're going to bring in is Chiron. Now, Chiron in astrology is known as the wounded healer. It's where we carry this deep imprint of pain, but also the potential for profound healing, not just for ourselves, but for others as well. Now, Chiron's placement in your natal chart, which you can find if you don't have it at astro.com or astroseek.com, just run your birth date and your birth time through there with whole sign houses, and that'll show you where Chiron is placed, as well as some of these other placements that we're going to talk about. But Chiron's placement shows where you've been wounded, or where you have felt like you've been wounded, more accurately, and most likely from childhood. It's often unconscious, it's operating below the surface until it's triggered. But when you become aware of it, that's when it becomes an opportunity for some really significant transformation in your life. And what comes out of that transformation is your ability to help others in a different way. Now, Chiron is not used in traditional human design charts. You will find it in the chart off of my website because I have that feature turned on, and I'm not a human design purist. So if you run your human design chart, the very bottom number on the numbers on either side of the body graph, that's Chiron. Now, if you want to make a mark, and you want to contribute through your own unique voice, you can't really sidestep Chiron's influence. This is one of the reasons why I feel like it belongs on the chart. So the wound unaddressed really creates distortion, but when you bring it into the light, you start to work with that transformation, that's when your voice really becomes a force. Now, for instance, Chiron for me is in Pisces in my 9th house. And the wound here is all around trusting what I can't see, faith in higher learning and spiritual exploration. And the shadow of this placement is escapism, particularly into spiritual bypassing or getting lost in lofty ideas without grounding, or a lot of running away. And the highest expression is a deep-rooted faith in the unseen, a trust in invisible threads that hold everything together. It's the ability to surrender to the mystery without losing grounding, and to help others do the same. And, I mean, that's really in the heartbeat of my work, right? It's developing that ironclad self-trust and trust in the process and trust in the universe. And in human design, my Chiron is in gate 36. And 36 is all about crisis and learning through experience. It's the storm before the calm. It's the reckoning before the revelation. And my own life has been significantly marked by these storms. And I've learned that they're not something to avoid, because when I do try to avoid them, they're usually worse. And I look at them now more like initiations. And some of those have been incredibly unpleasant, and some of them probably will continue to be incredibly unpleasant. But they're what give me the authority to speak and to guide and to contribute. Now, moving on, Mars is, when we look at archetypally what Mars represents, in astrology is action and drive and instinct. It's how you assert yourself in the world, how you fight, how you protect, and sometimes how you self-sabotage. Now, in human design, your design Mars, meaning the number that's on the left-hand side of the chart, is a little bit more specific. It's what both human design and gene keys call